Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. I'm going to show you guys exactly how and what it cost me to build my off-grid tiny house right behind me. It's a shipping container tiny house. It's 40 foot long. It's a high cube container, so meaning it's 9 foot 6 inches tall, a little bit taller than the other ones. And it's about 320 square foot inside, so it's a pretty small area, but has everything you need. It's completely off-grid and it's self-sustainable for the most part. So I'll get to showing you guys a container and then I'll break down exactly how much it cost me to build this container house. All right guys, moving on into the container, I'm going to do a real quick view of the inside of the container and then I'll break down the cost and how much everything cost me to build this. All right, so this is the kitchen right here. It has a refrigerator, has a cooktop, has a toaster, Keurig, microwave, air fryer, sink, everything you see in a traditional house. I have a desk here to do my work, couch here to do some sitting, TV to play some games and watch some TV. Moving on, here is my bathroom. There's me. This right here is going to be the toilet. I haven't quite got to that yet. It's a work in progress. Septic's pretty expensive to put in, so I've kind of held off on that. But has a hot water heater. It's a 20-gallon hot water heater. Here's a under the counter washer dryer combo. Big shower. Has a seat in it. I don't know how fond I am of the seat. It's kind of in the way, but I thought it was going to be a good idea. All right, so here's the bedroom. It has a propane heater, has a bed, a mini split to do heating and cooling, and that's about it in here. I'm going to put a dresser right here at some point and probably put some more stuff. I'm definitely going to put some doors in it at some point, but that's what it is so far, and it's a pretty good living area. Definitely good for what I paid for it. So everything you see here, me and my dad has actually built ourselves. I'm going to throw in some clips of the container when it arrived and, you know, when it was drywalled up, when there was no doors in it. I mean, the whole process. I have everything recorded on my phone. It's not super good quality because I didn't have a camera at the time, but it's been a long process. And to start off, the shipping container itself cost me $5,000 delivered, which I didn't think was too bad because the property where I have the shipping container is kind of a hill. So it was kind of a hard effort to get the container up here, but they did. And you can see a video. Actually, I'll roll the clip right now. Yeah, it was definitely a little bit sketchy getting it up here for sure. But the solar system I put on the container was $5,000. It came with 12 panels, 2 batteries, the inverter, and all of the wiring to get everything hooked up, minus some wire to run back to the inverter, which I had to buy separately. But that was a little over $5,000 just to get that system put in place. So with the solar and with the container, nothing inside the container, I had $10,000 into it, which I didn't think was too bad. As you see in this video here, the container is actually studded up 2x4 walls like any traditional house. The reason I did that was to give it more of an area to put insulation in. So because the form-fitting insulation board is very expensive, it is pretty costly, so I figured putting the 2x4 walls up would give me a more insulation value, more of an R value, and it would give me a spot to hide my water lines and my electric lines and everything else that you don't particularly want to look at. But as the container sits right now, this sounds good, but this was me and my dad's labor. We didn't have to pay any labor costs for it. I have just about $35,000 into the container as it sits now. And that's with solar too. So if you're going to build something like this yourself, depending on the cost of the shipping container itself, you can probably build one for less than $35,000 if you do it yourself. It was a lot of learning. The biggest thing was definitely putting the windows and doors in, which I actually do not have a clip of that because me and my dad were a little bit over our heads on that one. We never really did anything like that, so we were more focused on actually getting it done. So how we did the windows was we actually made it with 2-inch angle. So we made the frames at our house, and then we came in and cut the windows out to the size, and then welded the frames in, and then actually put the windows in like any other house. And the only other thing that we messed up on a little bit was above the doors, there's a little bit of a lip, which I'll show you here. We should have form fitted the frames of our windows to the corrugations on the container, and we did not do that. We just left a gap, and we had the idea of putting some type of filler, silicone or something, rubber in it. And that's actually been one of the biggest issues with the container is the windows, because we had to take flashing and cut it to size and use some type of adhesive to adhere to the window frame. And then we siliconed along the edges to try to fill in all those voids, because the silicone and the liquid rubber that we put in there both got water under them and started to push out. So that did not work. So if I ever made another container house like this, I would definitely make the window frames different. But other than that, everything else has worked out pretty well so far. I'm not full-time living in here right at the moment, but soon I'm going to be moving in, because my parents are actually, I've talked them into selling the house and moving down here on our property and living a debt-free life, running their house off solar too. So I'm going to make some videos here soon here in the coming years of setting up their solar system, and because it's definitely going to be a little bit bigger solar system than what I have here. So I'm going to be speccing that system, installing the whole thing, and then actually hopefully making videos on the process of it and what that's doing. So I've talked them into going off-grid also, and we're going to see how that goes. So that also makes me move down here, and I'm going to be living off-grid full-time also. So it's going to be a good time. I'm going to make some more videos in the future, and remember, if you want to live a more fulfilling life, live tiny. Live in a small house, and you'll have way less worries.